in Russia, it belongs, it turns out that you belong to your motherland. This is a very fundamental difference between Russia, run by the kings for the last few hundred years, where people have always belonged to them, to the state, and the kings were the state, and the kings were the motherland. So people belong to the kings slash motherland, and other countries that have been run differently with democratic principles. That's the difference. In those countries, we are the people actually have been running the countries. They haven't been any kings, and person's life is the fundamental value, you know. Well, I talked about it in the last live stream I did on March 3rd, just a couple days ago. If you want to learn more about that, go and check it out. But it turns out that not only you belong to the motherland, you must agree, you must accept it. And if you rebel, if you disagree, if you leave or try to make attempts to go against the motherland, the motherland will punish you. And it'll punish you very hard, even if you're outside, far away from the motherland. Howdy, everyone. My name is Konstantin, and welcome to Inside Russia, where I give you daily news updates I find important, and I think that they explain what's truly happening in Russia currently. What you will not find on this channel is propaganda, BS, and lies. What you will find on this channel is truth, logic, and common sense, and emotions, because I'm a human being. Inside Russia is where usual Russia explained by the unusual Russian. For the first 30 minutes, I give you daily update, and then I welcome everyone to participate in live stream chat, conversing, giving feedback on the message, asking questions. Please join on our conversations. I would love that very much. Well, I'd like to talk about, to continue the idea that I talked about it in the last stream about how your life belongs to the motherland in Russia. I would like to talk more about how motherland is going to punish you if you disagree with this idea. You know, I would like to talk a little bit about history of what in Russia is called the special military operation, and in reality is a war that Russia is waging on Ukraine. What in Russia? You know, February 24th, 2022. Oh boy, that date. I come back to that date in every stream, and it's what a tragic date for my country. A lot of people started leaving Russia right after February 24th. A lot of people disagreed what Russia started doing in Ukraine. A lot of people didn't want to do business in Russia anymore and pay taxes and support Russian government, military-industrial complex, the army. A lot of people simply, moved away. A lot of people were hurt, upset, depressed. I remember that time very, very well. I myself left in March, returned in late April, in May. The people started leaving a lot in March of 2022. Literally a week after this whole thing was announced, and Russia started waging the war. Leaving was considered nothing extraordinary, but it was not considered a crime or sin back then because, according to Russian constitution, any Russian citizen can reside inside Russia or outside Russia at his or her own will. If you want to leave Russia permanently, that's your constitutional right. That's the right given you by God. The freedom to move from one place to another, from one country to another. Who can say anything? The times of the USSR that forbade people to leave the USSR, leave the country, they've been long gone, so we thought. Okay, lots of people left, and those who stayed, and including the government officials, they were just confused. There was confusion in society. A lot of people were asking questions. Why did you leave? What, you can leave. This is your right, but no one is holding you in Russia. But why would you do that? Look, you are just forfeiting so much. You're forfeiting your life, your comforts, your work, your business, whatever. Everything's going to be normal very short time. It's going to be all right. Very soon. And I remember clearly that was the message sent to those who were left, and confusion, like, why would you do something like that? But as long as people did not call what Russia was doing in the war, and as long as they did not spread information that contradicted to the official information from Russian official sources, such as army, Russian government, and so forth, no one really bothered Russians who left. Well, the second phase started in September 21st, 2022. Of course, you all remember the mobilization happened. Vladimir Putin addressed the nation saying that we need to mobilize, and the Minister of Defense said 350,000, I think. 300 or 350. I think it was 350. Don't quote me on that. It's either 300 or 350. So we need to mobilize so many people because things are not going well. We need your help. Your country needs you. Your motherland needs you. And then, of course, they said, but we are going to strictly mobilize those who are in good health and young age and have war specialty, like a driver or a sniper, things like that. And, of course, turned out to not to be true. Okay, but that's at least what they were saying. And people started leaving, and an exodus happened. I know very well because I'm a part of it. I left Russia on the 27th of September, 2022, and what I was seeing around me is really difficult to explain with words. You should have seen it with your own eyes. Surreal picture of hundreds and thousands of Russian men leaving Russia. Many of them for good. Anyway, not the topic of the stream. People started fleeing in huge numbers. Some experts give different numbers. I've heard from 1 to 3 million Russian males have left since beginning of the war. I tend to believe the number of 3 million. Some experts question that. They're saying more like 2 million left. But even if 2 million, it's a huge number. The next day after I arrived to Uzbekistan, September 28th, Ella Panfilova, who is in charge of the election commission in Russia, the federal agency overseeing elections of all kinds, very powerful, very high-ranked Russian official, politician, I guess. She came out with a statement saying that she was very proud of Russian men who were going to join Russian army and who were ready to go and kill Ukrainians. But she also added there was a certain kind of males in Russia, who were fleeing the ship. And those men, she called them rats. She called us rats. Oh, I was seeing lots of rats around me, so-called rats, Didn't really see rats. I saw very, very disappointed, very concerned, very depressed men who simply did not want to take arms and go and kill Ukrainians. But I guess in Russia, for the first time, we were called traitors and rats on September 28th. I remember the date because I will remember that date forever. I will remember what was happening in those days forever. The message from the Russian society, from the Z patriots, changed. From why would you leave? Everything's gonna be normal soon. Everything's gonna be all right. Are you crazy? We don't understand you. You have a right, and of course you can go, but why? Now they switch to something like, oh, you are leaving? Well, you're not committing any crime, and you can still leave, but you are betraying the country, and we wish you never come back to see the graves of your parents. We wish they will never, ever let you back. So they started getting angry with us, the Z people. They started sensing that something was going wrong. But the government officials, they were keeping silent until, the first bomb was dropped on December 28th. Senator Tsekov, and he's quite a guy. From the early 80s, in the early 80s, he joined the Communist Party of the USSR and was a professional politician until the USSR broke down in 1991. Then he was a politician, a senator in Crimea, a local senator. And Crimea used to be part of the USSR, and then it became Ukraine. So he continued to be a senator in Ukraine. And I think he went to highest level. He was a senator of Duma, Ukrainian parliament, not Duma, but Rada. And then when Russia annexed Crimea back in 2014, he came onto the Russian side and he supported the annexation. And in return, he was made the senator in the Russian parliament for that, so he's quite a guy. Anyway, on December 28th, 2022, he dropped a bomb on us. I remember the day very well again, because he announced that Russian politicians in the Duma were he proposed to confiscate assets of Russians who have left, regardless, who they were. Programmers, stars, showmen, just regular folks, no matter who they were, their assets, their real estate, their properties, everything, they need to be confiscated. And on the same day, 28th of December, Dmitry Medvedev, former president of Russian Federation, he proposed, he didn't really propose anything, but he just shared his opinion. He said something like, those who left and support Ukraine are traitors, even if there's no crime committed, even if they are not under criminal investigation, no cases open against them, they're traitors anyway, and they need not to be let to come back to Russia, ever. That was quite an amazing statement, because listen to this very carefully. According to Russian law, a person is clean There's no investigation. There's no suspicion in wrongdoing. There's no crime committed. Nothing. Perfectly clean. But Medvedev states that even the person is clean, he needs to be stripped of his constitutional right and not be able to let back into Russia. Well, Dmitry Medvedev is an attorney. He graduated from a law school in St. Petersburg, Law University. And I don't understand how an attorney could say something like that. I'm not an attorney. I know a little bit of law, but I'm not an attorney with a diploma. I didn't go to university. I didn't go to a law school for that. But I understand that you just cannot do that. In order to strip person of, you can't strip person of a citizenship in Russia according to the constitution. You just can't do that. But how can you not let person to come back to the country just to strip the citizenship, right? But you can't do that. So anyway, that was crazy. But incredible, just incredible. We gathered on the very same day, I think the following day, 29th of December, in Tashkent International Breakfast Club for breakfast as usual. And we were discussing. Everyone seemed very upset, very scared, because a lot of people who are here in Uzbekistan, they still have assets, property, bank accounts left in Russia. And everyone was asking me questions. Have you heard anything about that? Have you heard, what are we gonna do? What? Everyone's scared. I was not feeling easy myself, And what I did, I found an attorney, actually not one but three, and I asked them directly because we have quite a few attorneys, members of International Breakfast Club in Tashkent, and they kind of calmed us down, said, don't worry about it. It's a very complicated legal procedure. They need to come up with laws. They need to introduce new laws, amend existing ones, and it's going to take time. So each one of us created a plan A and plan B if such laws would be created or amendments would be, approved. Okay. We celebrated New Year, and another bomb was dropped on us on January 13th by none other than the Speaker of Russian Parliament, Volodin. Those who left and put in dirt onto Russia, scumbags. Those openly suggesting and supporting that, suggesting that those who are villains, Nazis, and killers doing no wrong, supporting villains, Nazis, and killers, all assets of those people must be confiscated to compensate damage that those people have done to Russia, to motherland. At the same day, Senator Yevgeny Popov suggested that those Russians who have left Russia are to be stripped of citizenship just for the fact for leaving and putting dirt upon Russia by that fact. Well, trust me, when a top Russian politician says that and you're outside of Russia and you left, you don't feel easy, you don't feel good. Anyway, moving on. The biggest bomb, in my opinion, was dropped on us on February 7th by another senator, Andrei Kolesnik, member of Russian parliament. He proposed to kill those who left and criticizing Russian motherland, aka government. I didn't make a mistake, okay? I didn't misspell, I didn't missay. He proposed to kill those who left and merely criticizing Russian government. Woohoo! A lot of people said I was speaking with people. I said, well, don't listen to this clown, don't listen to him. To me, he's not a clown. He's not. To me, he's a senator of Russian parliament. He was elected by Russian people. Many people, many thousands of people voted for him. Therefore, he's for real. He's not a clown. And I take statements like that very, very seriously. Besides, just 2 weeks later, on February 21st, Vladimir Putin, Russia's president, addressed the nation, and he said many things. Among those, he said that those who are committing direct treason will be punished. Plain and simple, he sent a very strong message. And again, if anyone overlooked his message, he sent another message, even stronger one and even more direct one to Russian Federal Security Bureau, FSB, former KGB. On 28th of February, Vladimir Putin, a former member of KGB, spoke at the annual KGB meeting. I quote, "It is necessary to stop all this scum, those who are trying to split Russian society." This direct quote. Who is the scum? Ooh. Let me tell you a thing or two about who is the scum. Who are the traitors? Who committing direct treason? Who are the ones who left? Well, my comrades. They are my comrades. I understand people quite well. We share same values. We are of more or less same age. We have same views. We have families, well, at least most of us. We have kids. We're loving fathers. We work for a living. We're honestly paid taxes. We created value. We are engineers, doctors, attorneys, performers, actors, singers. We are real estate agents, salespeople. We are businessmen. We are owners of small and large businesses. In my eyes, those who are left are the best of the best in Russia, the cream of the crop. Those who are left have enough courage, self-esteem, enough energy, enough ability of seeing into the future and forecasting and analyzing situation, enough mercy, compassion, enough love to actually make such a big decision of their lives, to leave everything they had worked for, they had built, they had been creating for years and perhaps decades behind, and just go to who knows where, to the first place they can settle in, catch their breath, People who disagree with the government, who openly exercise their rights, constitutional rights, to criticize their government, to disagree with the actions that the government is taking. People who are activists, people who are brave enough to speak up. These people are called rats, traitors. They are said to be committing direct treason. They are in the eyes of many, all Russian politicians and many Russians these days are traitors who betrayed their motherland and left. You see, the message changed greatly. From early, March, late February, oh, you're leaving? Why? Why? Why would you do something like that? You have a right, but why would you do something like that? Everything's going to be all right very soon it's gonna go back to normal. And then you're gonna feel stupid for, leaving. To now, those who left and criticizing the motherland, aka government, are traitors. They committing direct treason. They need to be stripped of their citizenship. Everything needs to be taken away from them and confiscated. All the property, assets, bank accounts, money, real estate, everything they have. And then they need to be killed. Even though they're outside, we'll get them outside. This is how the message changed. Politicians and the majority of Russian people, the Z people who support the war in Ukraine. Why is this so? Why is this so? People, they follow politicians. Politicians form public opinion. They give the message to the media, and media brainwashes regular folks. The politicians changed their opinion towards the first anniversary of the war due to two things. The first thing is they didn't expect so many people to actually get up and leave Russia. They didn't expect that hundreds of thousands of programmers, thousands of doctors, medical doctors, brain surgeons, trauma doctors, pediatricians, specialty doctors, they didn't expect that tens of thousands of engineers would leave Russia. They didn't expect that so many professionals would leave. They didn't expect that so many business owners would say, you know what, we're out of here. We're closing our business and you can do whatever you want with your country. We're going to be adding value to other economies, other countries. And we'll be paying taxes in other countries. They did not expect that. To them, as usual, they don't expect anything. To them, it turned out to be a very unpleasant surprise. And that is the reason number one. And the reason number two is all these people who have left, all of us, we have committed the sin of leaving. We have committed the sin of exiting the sphere of influence of our motherland. We have committed the sin of making actions that made us not the property of the motherland anymore, because the motherland cannot reach out and grab us here where we are. And that's what is considered mortal sin in Russia. You can do anything. You can steal from the government, from the budget. Many hundreds of thousands of people do that. You can, join force and commit crime in other country against other nationals. Well, you can commit crimes inside Russia. Well, things happen. But if you leave, and if you cease to be the property of the motherland, that's the mortal sin. That's what the government does not like at all. On top of that, even if you start speaking about that, then that's like double mortal sin. And this what has been happening. And they realized that, those who have left, we can't get them. They're not our property anymore. We think they are, but they're independent. They can go places, they can do things, but we can't control them. We can punish them. We can take their money. We can take whatever they have left in Russia. We can even try to kill them, but we cannot return them under our wing to make them our property again. You know, I know for sure one thing. Most people who are in Uzbekistan, most people who I have met, most people who show up every day for breakfast, and they show up in other groups, not just my group, my social support group. Most of them have no intentions of going back to Russia under any circumstances. Russia has lost them. And most likely, even if Russia decides to kill us, they will not kill everyone. They might get some of us, but they definitely will not they will not kill all of us. They simply don't have resources for that. And they're mad. They're mad crazy. I have a feeling that many Russian politicians and many people in Russia these days, they are living like there is no tomorrow in Russia. The biggest question is what has motherland is turning into? And this has been my message for today. My friends, thank you so much for coming, for listening. Let me know what you think. Give me feedback. Nice words would be very welcome. I would like to hear from you. I would like to hear what you think of what I've just shared with you. Before I turn on the comments, please do me a couple favors. First, help me spread my message by making reposts to your social media accounts so my message reaches out to more people. And second, if you liked what I've just said, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss any further updates if you're new here. Also, please sign up for my Telegram channel called Inside Konstantin's Russia. The link will be in the description below when the live stream ends. That way, I can stay in touch easier with you and I can do announcements more effectively. Thank you so very much. Turning on the comments now. Please stay. I would love you to stay and converse and comment and ask questions. I will try to answer as much as I can. Thank you. The comments are on, and if you're not seeing them, then please turn on, well, refresh your page so you will see them just like what I did. Let me put another screen right in front of me so I can see them better. Thank you so much. And see the mods coming back as usual. Mommy Lorna, Black Cat, Bob S, Harry, Amir, howdy howdy, and thank you, and the usual suspects. The usual suspects are those who have been with the channel for a long time. Thank you so much for coming back, and if you're new here, you're very welcome. Thank you for coming. Hang on 1 second. Opening the comments in a separate window as usual, so it's easier for me to read the comments and answer them. If you want me to see your comments, please put them in caps and put inside Russia after that sign, so it kind of jumps right into my eyes. Highlighted in orange. Thank you so much. Again, the usual suspects, howdy howdy, and the new faces, hello hello. I will jump into the comments and questions that are in caps. Thank you. Sam K, thank you so much for saying hello. apologize. Dave Strains, Constantine, very powerful message today. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dave. Paul McDonald, thank you so much. The Observer, Russia these days reminds me of Eagles song Hotel California. You can check in anytime, but you can't leave. Well, it actually goes different. It says, the song goes like this. You can check out anytime, but you can never leave. I hope you're not right. I hope you're wrong, because I have checked out. We'll see what happens next. Don, God bless. Thank you so much. Silas Larson. So, did the shift in sentiment towards the freedom of movement feel like a betrayal just 30 years after the USSR ended? Silas, worse than that. It's happening right in front of us so fast. 1 year ago, everything was normal, even after the war started. Like I said, people were saying, "You leaving? Well, you can leave. Yes, this is your right. We're not saying anything. We do not throw rocks into you, so to speak. But why would you do that? That's stupid. This is your country. This is your business. This is your life. You want to forfeit everything? How are you going to feel like when you're going to come back soon?" You see, and in just 12 months, the message is absolutely different. And you know what? This message has been engineered. This message has been put into people's heads because the motherland, aka Russian government, is, well, how can I say it owns us. It thinks it knows what's not even what's better for us. It knows that it owns us and we must do everything it says. Okay, it says you must mobilize, you must take up arms and go kill Ukrainians. You must follow. Don't ask questions because your motherland wants you to do that. Who are you to say no? You see, and the ones who say no, the ones like me, will become very dangerous. And they want to take revenge. RW, howdy, howdy. They see a traitor, I see a man of principle. Thank you, thank you. I hope I'm a man of principle. They see a rat, I see a hero. Thank you. I see betrayal, I see hope for the future. Thank you, friend. Thank you so much. These words actually, they really warm my heart and they make the situation bearable. Thank you. Like I always say, support, monetary support is very appreciated and needed. But you know what? The words are priceless. The words that keep me going. The words that change my life to the future. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Damien Da Silva, great message today. Well, great message for you, but very sad one for me. Trust me, because I fact checked everything. Well, it's just like not much to fact check because all these messages I follow them. I still remember every single day they came up with these messages. I remember the dates. So to me, it's a very sad message. I do, however, have to disagree that the Kremlin is not full of clowns. It is. The original sin is that 140 million people watched this rise and did nothing. We too have elected but corrected course. Damien, not a question, a statement, a good one. Thank you. Thank you so much. X-Flying Tiger, Nikki and John Lake Shasta. Nikki wants you to know how you can feel to secure in Breakfast Club. Russian agents can be anywhere. Oh my gosh. John and Nikki, let me tell you something. What you're asking me is poison. This poison of suspicion to everyone new, especially the ones who come from Russia now, is so bad. And it's not just me who's been poisoned. other folks have been very suspicious too. Not much we can do. We can't run background checks. We can't just put live people to lie detector tests and stuff like that. So we trust everyone who comes. But you nailed it. Well, Nikki nailed it. It's become the biggest concern that we have, because we have 350 people officially in the Breakfast Club as of today. Just 300 in our Telegram group, and about 50 people who have not signed up. They, due to some reasons, but they still show up. How do I know who is who? Well, some people I have no questions about. The ones who joined me in the first days, the ones who started, attending. They've been attending for 4 or 5 months. I call myself the founder, and I call them the admins, my advisors, the founding fathers too. The rest. This is one of the worst feelings when a person shows up, and perhaps the person is innocent. Perhaps he's same as us, but you start having doubts. You're like, why did he leave Russia? Like, why? I'll give you an example, Nikki. We had a girl came from St. Petersburg a week ago. And she contacted me on Telegram, and she said, can I come and join you for breakfast? I said, sure, you can. So she showed up, and she was right off the plane, and she started asking us questions like, where do I go in Uzbekistan? And we're like, well, why don't you just find yourself an apartment? Oh, no, she said, I've come for 4 days. And then I started having like an alarm in my mind. Bam, 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 4 days. Why would she come for 4 days? Why would she, just 4 days? Like, is she a tourist? Like, why did she come to the Breakfast Club and stuff like that? And I started this is incredible bad feeling of suspecting people of something that you don't know they're guilty or not. And I still don't know. I mean, she showed up. She went to the mountains with one of the guys. He showed her around, and who knows? This is bad. Anyway, sorry for such a long answer. Jean Charette, why a year ago on the Moscow video stream you said that Ukraine was not a sovereign country, and now yes? Ukraine is a sovereign country. It has been a sovereign country since 1991. What I said back then is that I disagreed with some of the actions that some people did during the events in Ukraine on Maidan Square in 2014. I'm not saying that Maidan was fake. Ukrainian people actually, they wanted freedom. They came out and they voiced their opinions. But there were some people who used that situation to their own advantage, okay? And this is I still have this opinion, okay? Ukraine is far from uncorrupt country, let's put it this way. But what I've been saying is what's going on in Ukraine is Ukraine's business. If they want to be corrupted, it's their business. If they want to be dependent on someone, it's their own business. If they want to join NATO, it's their own business. It's between them and NATO. If they don't want to join NATO, it's between them. They are a sovereign country, plain and simple. Are some people in Ukraine have been under influence? That's fact. You can't argue with that, okay? Remember Victoria Nuland talking to the ambassador, American ambassador, and the conversation was intercepted and made public? How she was saying publicly, let's put this guy in charge and let's put that guy in charge. And what about the EU? Oh, fudge the EU. She said that, not me, okay? And this is what I meant. But it does not apologize Russia's actions. It does not clears Russia's actions. like does not give Russia actions to. It does not give Russia rights to attack Ukraine, start waging war. Okay, and this been my point. So, Gene, I hope I answered your question. William Best, thank you so very much for your huge support. It is safe for Americans to travel to Russia. I was there on January 23. I was treated well. Well, William, let's put it this way. Well, first of all, thank you very much for huge support. I very much need it and very, very appreciate it these days. Thank you so much. My kids from Maine are visiting me right now, and when I was making plans for them, I was thinking of them stopping in Russia for a couple days, seeing some members of my family. I would never put my kids to danger, okay? I think it's safe for Americans to travel to Russia. As safe as it was before. I can't make advices to anyone, but I'm telling you my personal situation. If things worked out schedule-wise, I would have sent my kids for a couple days to Russia, so they would stop by, they would see people, and then they would fly to Tashkent. I hope I answered your question. Amir, give Mom, Natasha, Sky, Jake, and Michael big hug from Texas. Thank you so much, Amir. I certainly will do. Michael Barnes, thank you so much for your support. I very much appreciate it. Jekyll N, this time very unusually with a question. I love questions from you. Thank you. Putin is losing, therefore they need many distractions, such as blaming the loss partly to Russians who are leaving. Jekyll, I disagree with you on this. They are not blaming us for losing. They are mad that we left. They are so mad that we've stated our opinion. It's called, well, someone said a couple days ago, voting with our feet. We voted with our feet, and that vote you cannot fake. You cannot replace ballot with a different name. We voted honestly with our feet, and that vote cannot be messed with, and that's what they're absolutely mad about. And of course they want to steal our money, property, because they're out of money. The budget deficit is running wild for the second month, for the third month in a row, because they have lost so much revenues from oil, gas, taxes, our taxes, my taxes, people from around. I've been trying to count how much taxes people in the Breakfast Club were paying. A few 100 million rubles every year. They have lost those taxes. They have lost that money, and they have increased spending so much. They need money. So, of course, the ones who left will steal everything from them, will confiscate, and we'll make it legal. We'll make it a legal steal, and that's it. So they're not blaming us for the loss, but they're just blaming us. The guy next door. Thank you. I was recently in Thailand. It was like little Russia and Phuket. Exactly. Because where do Russians go to? Armenia, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Azerbaijan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan. And guess what? These are mostly transit. They're not final destinations. They're the transit ones. From there, Bali, Maldives, Sri Lanka, Ceylon, Thailand, Europe, Argentina. the United States, Canada, some even go to Mexico, all over the world. And you are just witnessing what I've been saying. Come to Tashkent, you will see the same thing. It's like little Russia. Come to our breakfast club, you will see, I don't know, hundreds of Russians. My hotel neighbor checked out too. He can't return. He describes Russia as a circus. Thank you. Thank you for confirming my words. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Has had a smiler. Thank you so much. You're from Israel, right? Thank you. I appreciate it. Somehow I'm disturbed today. I don't know. Really strange feeling. This message has taken a toll. Ooh. Tanushi, the Russian senators vote like they don't think there's tomorrow. Well, most commentators I follow keep pressing the point that Russia doesn't have a future. Thank you. Let me acknowledge the super chats, and I will tell you a funny thing I was thinking about Russian senators. This is gold, okay? You can say whatever you want, but actions speak louder than words, and I'm going to give you the actions that cannot be faked. Level 70, thank you so much. Do you think the Russian government will actually go after Russian YouTubers that left Russia, or just the bluster? If this situation that's been going on continues, of course they will go out after us. Of course they will go out after us. Mark my words. If it ends in the foreseeable future, no, they won't. But Putin has publicly said, stop that scum. Who do you think scum is? Damien Da Silva, thank you again. Is Russia not one of the most corrupt nations today? It seems like all ex-Soviet states suffer from this cultural flaw. How will this be fixed? Well, there's a couple questions in your question. Russia used to be one of the most corrupt nations in the world before the war started. After the war, it has turned into state-run entity. You can't even say like corrupt. The government has changed the rules, and it's molded the rules to its own liking. Okay, it's not corruption; it's beyond corruption in Russia. Okay, they simply manipulating everything they want to, and they're making it a law, plain and simple. Question number 2. You're right. Ex-Soviet states suffer from this cultural flaw. How this will be fixed? I don't know. They all suffer. Ukraine? Oh boy. I lived in Ukraine for a year. I did business in Ukraine. Corruption? Woohoo! Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan. Trust me, Russia, they have not gone far from Ukraine and from Russia. So, yes. How can it be fixed? I don't know. I wish I knew. I'd be fixing it. Amir has given sponsorship to a few people. Amir, thank you so much. We had a fantastic stream yesterday. Probably the best private stream for sponsors and patrons. And let me tell you, I want to repeat that this coming Saturday. And even I want to make it even better. Yeah. Please tune in. You're not going to be disappointed. It's going to be a great stream. So now coming back about Russian parliament. Question from Tanushi. I was thinking this. My estimations that about 70-75% of Russians support the war in Ukraine. 20 to 25 do not support. The ones who are left in Ukraine, in Russia, still. I agree with that. Dmitry Peskov confirmed my numbers, and for once I agree with him. 25-75. Well, how do Russians senators vote for things? 0 to 100. 100% support the war, 0 do not support. But wait a second. Aren't Russian senators supposed to be the voice of people who voted for them? Where is 25% of the voters who don't support the war? Think about that. So, what kind of Senate is that? The senators who do not voice, who do not, represent the opinions, the will of people who voted for them. What the fudge? You can't say anything, right? Nothing can be said. This just shows you what kind of parliament Russia has. Just Terry has given sponsorship to 5 people. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you. It was great seeing you yesterday. We had fun. All 3 of us had such a fantastic time. We shared our opinions after the stream, and it's fire. Dean Spooner, howdy, Mr. Dean Spooner, and thank you so much to you and your church, our Lutheran Savior Church, right? Let me look it up. That's right, our Savior Lutheran Church. Thank you. I appreciate the support. Brianna B, thank you so much. Anyone who speaks up now gets the window treatment no matter what their rank is. Inside Russia. Brianna, I think you are a little off. Mostly right, but a little off. Not just the ones who speak up, but the ones who know where money went. Lots of money went. Because people who fall out of the window accidentally work for gas companies, oil companies, big Russian companies, and they're in charge of money revenues, streams, not revenues, but money streams. They know which perhaps offshore banks certain money went to, and they're the only witnesses, perhaps, and they just accidentally taken by the wind, and draft is really strong in Russia, those northern winds, and the wind just, accidents. Of course, there's no full play. Of course not. James from Poland, right? Thank you so much. Greetings from Poland. Yeah, I judge by the currency. Hopefully their threats are just angry barking. By the way, any thoughts on Sergei Lavrov getting laughed yesterday when he said it was Ukraine that attacked Russia? Well, James, thank you so much. Every time I see Paul coming here and speaking and sending wishes and supporting, thank you so very much. That warms my heart. Knowing that we have such a harsh relationship with Polish, every time that you come, it shows that Polish people are actually normal people who don't judge like everyone in Russia, but they judge by personalities, so thank you so much. Answering your question, my thoughts on Sergei Lavrov getting laughed yesterday. What thoughts can I have? When I heard that, I also started laughing. I mean, what the heck? Russian news, by the way, presented absolutely differently. They presented that they downplayed laughing. They said there were like people started talking, arguing about that, and then later people started applauding to Sergei Lavrov. Well, they definitely heard laughing. I mean, they definitely showed laughing, but they did not show us applauding. I doubt there was applauding to Sergei Lavrov later on. So again, James, thank you so much. X-Flying Tiger, any person who lives in a country that does not allow its people to live is not a citizen. They're a prisoner. Better to die free than to live as a captive. You are in our prayers. Thank you so much. Thank you. And you know what? When the USSR fell apart in 91, that was one of the biggest joys of my life. A 15-year-old kid. Knowing that now, from that point on, I could travel freely outside of Russia. I didn't have to ask for permission of KGB or anyone. I could get just... You see, in the USSR, you could travel. But they had to let you out. You had to secure a permission. You had to apply for a passport. In order to do that, you'd have to go and bring like a dozen of documents. You have to go to your school and they write a letter of recommendation. You have to go to your work, the letter of recommendation. Then there's a special commission looks at all the letters, and some people who vouched for you wrote letters. If they wrote something good, they also involved. If something happens to you, you run away while you're abroad, they gonna, they would pay the price. So a commission would decide whether you can be given a passport or not, an external passport. And if you were given, you'd still need to get a permission from KGB to leave the country. So if they had, basically the ones who could leave were members of Communist Party, and they could only go to the Eastern Bloc countries, or you had to go on a business trip. Yes, athlete, reporter. Most reporters who flew abroad, they were KGB agents, and so not too many Russians could flee. So, but in theory, you could have left the USSR if you wanted to, like a tourist. Okay, and of course they didn't let anyone to immigrate. So in '91, one of my biggest joys was, wow, finally we can see the world. Finally, I can go anywhere I want. I can go to America if I wanted to. And all I had to do is to go and fill out the paperwork, and they had to give me my external passport, and I wouldn't have to ask for permissions or anything like that. And it was like that in Russia until, well, I guess recently. This database already is present. They ask people questions on the way inside when the people coming back to Russia. When they leave Russia, they turn some people down. They have a right to do that these days, and it looks like the USSR is back. And this is definitely a huge loss for all Russians, Ooh. The guy next door sounds almost like a giant behemoth version of North Korea, politically speaking. You're not far from the truth. I don't think that anything in the world can be worse than North Korea, and Russia is heading fast towards that model. Perhaps it's already there with one foot, as we say in Russian. Charles O'Rourke, if thank you so much. If it was in my power, I would airlift you all to Ireland. Thank you. Thank you so much. That'd be good. Thank you. Outlander, I was searching on YouTube for hope, and God helped me to find your stream. Thank you so much. You're so important in the world. Thank you. Wolfie 2, I've seen Kapitan Lisowski, Polish influencer, mentioned you yesterday. He holds you in very high regard. Thought you would like to know. Thank you so much. I have not ever heard of Kapitan Lisowski, but thank you. Thank you so much. I'm just being sincere, and I speak from my heart, and I don't step left or right from this course. Thank you. KG1, have any of your friends in Tashkent been able to get refugee status in the West or safer countries? One couple left for Argentina. Well, family, not a couple. Argentina. They, as far as I understand, they have a legal status there. One family left for the United States through Mexican border claiming political asylum. I really haven't heard what happened to them. I hope that and pray that they get it. One guy left for Sri Lanka. Well, one family left for Sri Lanka. The thing is, this is how it works. We all left in September and October by ourselves. Men. Tashkent was city of Russian men, and women started joining us. Kids started joining us a little after. And then they were finishing up, selling off property and doing, like finishing everything up for their men. And once the families would come to Tashkent, they would fly to other places. Bali, Sri Lanka, some went to Thailand, perhaps was mentioned Phuket, perhaps there were like some people from Tashkent there. Let me see. A few people trying to go to the northern countries, the Nordic countries, Norway, Sweden, Finland, I think. Israel, but it's not it's not political asylum, but the guy is Jewish and he's just waiting for Israel passport. Great guy, friend of mine. I started a new thing. Before going to, I used to take cabs to Breakfast Club, but now I take a cab to a park. I meet a few people and we walk to Breakfast Club for about 45 minutes speaking English. I teach everyone how to speak English. We practice. And one of those guys who started doing it with me is the Jewish guy. Very funny, very cool guy. So he's going and his kids are going to Israel. I gotta look it up. There must be a few people who have already left and got. The thing is, once they leave, they don't really let us know. Intelligence, did something happen to you recently? It feels that way. If you can't share, I understand. Nothing bad has happened to me recently. Something good happened. If you could come to the stream yesterday, you would have seen that's something good. I kind of talked about it. Something good is coming too. So something has happened, but not nothing bad. At least nothing I know of. Danny Danica Vikingi, thank you so much. Great message today. I was in the middle with share some data with you. How sent PM messages, Telegram, the KC and green shirt. Yes, it's me. The KC and the green shirt. You can send me. You warned us against fake accounts. Also, you can email me. You will find the email in the description. About channel. Mods, could you please give information how to get my email? Jason Carney, thank you so much for coming back and thank you for generous support as usual. Thank you from my wife, from my kids, from myself. Hopefully we all will be able to get to a stream one day, and thank you personally. Not just me, but all of us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for giving gift of sponsorship to 5 people. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Time is running up. Lithuanian from UK. I left my country a long time ago. Lived in the USA, now UK. I am in engineering. Watch your streams daily. Left everything but for a different reason. I feel you. Stay strong. Thank you for the message. Thank you, brother. I think you know somewhat how I feel. Thank you. Let your fear go. Keep only positive thoughts. Hard, I know. Let bad thoughts go. Lynn McQuillan, thank you so much for the message. I don't have much fear. I fear for my kids. I fear for my wife, for my mom. Something happens to me that's going to be a tragedy for them. I don't really fear much. If I feared too much for myself, you know what? I wouldn't be doing these streams. My windows are open. There's actually a nice draft right now, 68 degrees Fahrenheit in Tashkent, and this is just beginning of March. I stand tall and I speak loud, and I say everything I want to say, and everything I want to share. Those times when I was in Russia and I was asking you to read between the lines every single day, they're over. With God's help, everything's gonna be all right. Thank you so much. Yesterday we were at the top of the roller coaster. Today we're at the bottom. Thank you, Dave. Well, at least yesterday we were at the top. At least we had the top. We have something to come back to. Yeah, it was a great stream yesterday. Chris George, who will be the next? I don't know. Theodore, do you think someone got to the Chechen leader? He looks very ill. He hasn't been in the public for quite some time, and a very disturbing thing for him is that instead of going and meeting Putin himself, he sent his young son to meet Vladimir Putin. To me, that speaks mountains, okay? But besides that, I don't have any facts, I don't have any information, none of us do. But just think about it. Think the magnitude of this for him. I think if someone could walk even on one foot, jump on one foot, I think he would be jumping to see Vladimir Putin, Magnet Star asks, what is the percent of unemployment right now in Russia? Very low, because so many people left, and for every Russian person, there are 2.5 open vacancies. So the unemployment is low. It just shows you how many Russians have left Russia. Grace, oh my goodness. Thank you so much. So good to see you. Hope your family is doing well. Thank you for coming. You are amazing. Thank you so much. My love and prayers to you and your precious family. Same from me to you. My prayers to your precious family. My love to you, to your wonderful country, and to your wonderful family. My friends, I think I'm gonna... Gary Klimitschek, thank you so much. I think I missed the super chat. Thank you. I appreciate your support. Thank you. Just Terry again. Amir, thank you so much again. From me and from my 5 new sponsors. Danielske, howdy. Grace, no, thank you. Past Blaster, follow your instincts, keep up the good work and take care. You have a lot of support. Just ask, we will be there. However we can be. You know what? This is gonna be my last question. Thank you, Alberry. Thank you so much. Without this community, I think I would have died out of depression, because I really don't know how other Russians who are in the same position as I am, how they can live without communities. And they're not well. They showed up throughout the winter in really bad mood, depressed, and Breakfast Club helps, but I get extra help from these streams, especially not from the messages. Messages are quite depressing in most cases and most times, but support from this community is tremendous. I love doing this part. I love reading from you. I love answering questions. I love seeing these hearts flying, This actually, it gives me support. It really gives, it's physical. What I'm doing is kind of virtual, but this is not. This is physical. And I do feel the support. I know there are so many people who send me good wishes, who pray for me. And if I ask for some kind of help, they would be ready to provide. So many people offer, hey, if you're ever in Florida, in Texas, like in Poland, in other countries, please stop by. You can stay in our place. And, I got calls from the guy from east of London. He said, like, look, I have a house, and he showed me the house. At any time, you come and stay for as long as you want. We have a village. We will welcome you. We will welcome your kids. We'll send them to school. Do you understand how precious that is for me? This is incredible. And was not the only time. There were like other people reaching out and offering to. Thank you, thank you, thank you. From Tennessee, from Texas, from California, from the UK, a few people, from Sweden. This is just from Italy. This is, you can't even imagine how important that is to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Million thank you to you. Louisa, I've been listening to you as much as I can. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support, and thanks for the invaluable, priceless words. Thank you. It's my friends. Thank you so much. I'd like to wrap it up and invite everyone to pray with me as usual. Let me just have a sip of tea. All right, our usual. If you're religious, please join me. If you're not, also join me, because here we pray for people, we send them good wishes, good energy, good vibes. You can call it whatever you want. My position is very simple. I think that if you have heart, if you're alive, you have heart that is beating, and if you have heart, then it has love in it. I have yet to see a person without love in his or her heart, and God is love. So therefore, in every one of us, there is God. So let's pray and ask for good for some people. Dear God, thank you so much for giving us this week, giving us this day. Thank you for putting food on our tables and putting a roof over our heads. Thank you for surrounding us with people who we love and who love us. Please help our children, keep them safe and healthy. Give us wisdom to keep the skies above their heads peaceful, and raise them the way that when they grow up, they will make this world a better place, will never engage into wars with each other. Dear God, please help stop the bloodshed in Ukraine. Reach out and touch hearts and souls of people who are responsible and who can make decision to stop the bloodshed, so they will wake up from their lethargic sleep and they will realize and understand what they have done, what has happened in Ukraine, and they would get terrified and make a decision to stop the bloodshed. Please help all the Ukrainians who have been affected by this terrible tragedy. Answer their prayers, make their wishes come true. Please send an angel to every single person in Ukraine to keep people out of harm's way. Please make it so angels make sure that not one single drop of blood is shed anymore. Please help my country, Russia. Send the army of strongest angels that you have with sharpest swords led by Saint Michael and other saints to come down and get rid of the demons who have hijacked my country. Have angels run Russia. Make it peaceful. Make it a good neighbor. Make it a country that is not feared by anyone. Make it good. Please help those who are traveling. Send them safe travels. Please help those who are seeking for asylum. Send help their way and good people their way. Please help those who are sick, homeless, jobless, struggling with their faith, depressed, not feeling well in general because of low self-esteems. Please shine your light above them and surround them with your love to make them feel better so they get back up on their feet and have a good life. Please help everyone in Ukraine who is sitting without electricity, without heat, without water. Send your help the way you know what kind of help they need their way as soon as possible, please. Please give us wisdom to make our skies above our heads peaceful and not to engage into wars, any kinds of wars ever again. Make this bloodshed stop and all the bloodsheds that are happening stop so we live peacefully according to the laws that you have given us. I would like to ask for all the children who have been affected in Ukraine, who have been displaced, who have been stolen. God, please help every child who has been affected. The way you know how to help, please help families, return children to their families. Give families strength to cope with hardships, and please unite all families and help children who need help in dire situation. I'm asking for all women who are pregnant, please, and are deciding whether to keep their babies or not. Reach out and talk to them so they make the right choice. Thank you so much for allowing us to come into this and form this community. Thank you for allowing us to pray together. Please help everyone who's praying right now and or watching us pray. Answer everyone's prayer. Hear everyone's prayer, answer it, and make everyone's wish come true. I would like to ask for people who need your help. They are Wayne, Shirley, Debbie, Jen Allen, Finola, Lars Henriks and Lars Henriks' mother, Highwayman, Amanda Ridnour, and her roommate, Essie from the Scottish Isles, Outlander and family, Chories and family, David Porter and his wife and daughter, and all people who are in Chernovtsi. Enjoy every minute, please send strength. Lars, Susan Marshall, Beulah, Buzz Simon, Lazarus, Alvin, and Alvin's sister, please send strength. Teresa D, Marsha Tucker, Garcia Castellano, Terry Carter, Joe McMahon, Meta Spencer, Diana and family, Bree's friend, Carolyn, Albina Fell, Life, Joel, Terry, Karen Vasseur, Michael Yukon, Pamela J, Yelena, please help safe travels, Natasha, Jake, Michael, Oля, Dasha, Sky, Bonnie, Galina, Igor, Karen from Maine, Jamie, Michael Milkevitz, Marlene, Paul Binns, Richard, Mallory M., Dirk Misler, James Rhodes, Terry, Hannah and her children, Richard Burris, Angelica at Life, and Scant family's grandson, Grace, Barb, Randolph, Nelly and Cardi, Yuri and everyone in Mykolaiv, Ukraine, Harry's family, Verlinda's niece, Ian, James, Doug, Rafaela from, Anna, Priscilla, Michelin, King Nero, Gaby Hyman, Donald, Deborah, Lisa's son, Jade, Kaltenberg, Alice and Dave Moyers, Maureen M. and her sister, Mr. Hansen, Heidi, Bob, Tony, Kayleen, Rob, Umil, Jennifer, Matt, Ashley and family, Mr. Dean Spooner and his church, called Our Savior Lutheran Church, Lisa Kumrian, Jacob, Adam Oliver, Amy, Treasure, Kyle's wife, Grace Philosophy, and her wonderful family, Maggie, Carmen's sister, Vladislav and his father Sergey from Kharkov, Ukraine, Susie Myler, Gina and Wayfarer, AMS paramedic Liz, Lori Miles' husband, Sherry, Layla, Philip's mother, Maria Kolesnikova, Thomas Fall and his mother, Ann Larson and family and her daughter, and Florentina. I would also like to ask for special children, Cadence, Maverick, Sebastian, Coulter, Theo, Madi, Ansley, and Karina Cernice. Please send recovery, fast recovery, send good health, and send their families strength. Thank you so much, dear God. Amen. My friends, thank you so much for coming. You're absolutely awesome and you rock. I want you to know that. Another week. Tomorrow, releasing Meanwhile in Russia with some news. I'll give you update on what I think is happening that is important. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me another chance. Listening, watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. And before I go, I would like everyone to say out loud, along with me, the usual, Carthago delenda est.